Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is the Bex Gears DIY 7-string electric guitar kit with the Burl poplar veneer top and okoume body. You can get these guitars directly from China, or you can do what I did. I bought it off a Reverb from a seller out in California. I received the whole kit in a couple of days. This kit comes with a pearl poplar veneer top and an okoume body, and it has a composite ebony fingerboard, 24 frets. It has a 5-piece maple neck. It's got 1 volume, 1 tone, and 1 3-way switch. It comes with black chrome hardware. I ordered this kit on January 26th. I was able to receive it on January 30th. It was well packaged and it included everything you need to build the entire guitar. For this kit, I decided to use all the stock parts, so I didn't replace anything except the nut, which I broke. So on initial inspection, everything looked pretty good. The neck and body fit together really well. The holes were all drilled correctly. The scale length is 25.5 inch. The body is super lightweight. I've never used okoume wood before, but it looks and finishes a lot like mahogany. It's a super lightweight body. Initial inspection of the hardware, everything looked really nice. Felt good, good weight to everything. The tuners were spinning freely. The bridge had a nice weight to it. The electronics are all plug and play, so no soldering is required. The fretboard was a little dirty, but otherwise it looks like ebony to me. It feels like ebony. The inlays are really cool. The frets look like medium jumbo or medium frets to me. Lots of meat on them, plenty of frets to work with. The neck shape was really comfortable. I did thin it just a little bit, but otherwise a really nice shape, very comfortable in the hands. No problems with the neck. Truss rod was working out of the box. Some problems that I found with the kit were with the poplar top. There were sections that you can see here that were lifting on the edges. There were some cracks. There were even some small chunks missing from the top, which was pretty upsetting. Small piece from the headstock also missing on the sides. The headstock also had a deep scratch in it. This scratch goes almost all the way through the veneer top, and it's a very thin top, so working that scratch out was a problem. There were a lot of stains on the body, both the front and the top and the back. Thankful to see that these were not glue stains that had seeped through the top. I was able to just sand that out. The veneer top is, as I said, very thin, and it had a lot of tooling marks, so it required quite a bit of sanding to get it flat and to remove all of those tooling marks. That was an issue, especially if you're nervous about sanding through a thin top, which I was. Another interesting thing I found about the kit was that the neck and the headstock both had a thick sealer coat on it. Out of the box, you essentially could have just left it as is. However, I did remove that coat. I shaped the neck down a little bit and I refinished the neck. So for the equipment to build this kit, you don't need a lot. You do need the finishing materials, whatever you choose to do the finish. It was very helpful to have fret level and crowning tools, and I also use scrapers and files to shape the neck, which is not required, and lots of sandpaper. So for the process, I had to prep sand everything. As I mentioned before, the veneer caused some heartache because it's so thin, and I needed to sand out all of those scratches. Everything worked out in the end all right. Once the prep sanding was all finished, I stained. I used Minwax pre-stain conditioner, and I used 2 different Minwax stains, the special walnut and the gunstock colors. I mixed them together, came up with my own color here. I only stained the top and the headstock. Once the stain was dry, I finished the entire front and back with Minwax tongue oil finish. For the body and the neck, I used about 5 coats of Minwax tongue oil finish. I used sandpaper to apply the oil, and that's how I grain filled the body. I used progressively smaller and smaller grits of sandpaper to get a smooth finish. I didn't want it to be glossy on the back, but I did want it to be pore filled and smooth. For the Burl top, it took quite a bit more work than the body. After I had stained it and the stain was dry, I put about 15 coats of the Minwax tung oil finish. I sanded in the finish to make the top smooth. I wanted the top to be smooth and glossy as well, so that's why I needed to use so many coats. After I had worked my way through 400 all the way to 3000 grit paper, I applied a few top coats, just super thin with a paper towel, and it came out really glossy, as you can see. After the finish was cured on the neck and on the body, I moved on to leveling the frets. I gave it a full fret level, crown, and polish. I put copper tape inside the cavity. Assembly was super easy. Everything fit perfectly. I didn't have to modify or drill any extra holes, and all of the electronics were plug and play, so no soldering was required, making this a really easy build. So for my final impressions, this guitar was really fun to build, and I'm having a great time playing it. After all the work I put into it, I think it looks really nice. It plays really well. The electronics, to my surprise, they sound really nice. I have no complaints. The tuners work perfectly. I did replace the nut, so that could contribute to why I don't have any tuning issues with this guitar. The bridge is well made, as I said before. I don't have any rattling sounds. The guitar intonates well. The action is super low. I'm really enjoying playing it. I would definitely recommend this guitar. There are other finished guitars you can get at the same price range from Jackson and Ibanez and some other unknown manufacturers. I'm sure those guitars are just as good as this one. Depending on the amount of work you put into it, that's how well this guitar is going to come out. I've built guitar kits from Pango, the Fretwire, and StewMac. I've built lots of parts casters. I've done lots of modifications. I've done refinish work on existing guitars. And in the end, I'd say this kit compares favorably to most of the cheaper kits you can get, especially because the hardware felt really good and the pickup sounded better than what I would expect from a lot of these cheaper Chinese guitars. The only disappointment I had with this guitar was, again, all of the chips and the chunks and the lifting of the veneer top. I've had other guitar kits with flamed maple, and I never had these kinds of issues. But in the end, it all came out. You can't really notice it too much unless you're looking very closely. So thanks again for checking out this video. I hope to have some samples and some playthroughs of this guitar coming up. Let me know what you guys want to hear. Do you want to hear the clean tones or the dirty tones? Do you want to hear everything? Do you want me to make another long form video showing all the different sounds? Or do you guys like watching guitar shorts? Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks again.